Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are fine and taking care of you as well as your parents too. I hope you all are watching these videos regularly and sincerely and can learn more and more from these videos and would get benefited from these videos. So now in my previous video, I have explained about the life of ancient man during the Mesolithic age. So that I explained about the life of the man, about how the climate grew warmer, about the type of tools he was using during the Mesolithic age, about the plant, about his domestication of plants and animals, his new houses, the primitive houses, paintings, burials. So all these points I have already explained in my previous video. So after this Mesolithic age was followed by the new age, and this new age was Neolithic age, and we also call it New Stone Age. So when the Mesolithic age came to an end, so that time it was the beginning of the Neolithic age. So today I am just going to explain about the life of the ancient man during the Neolithic age. So first of all, I will explain about the farming and herding of the Neolithic man during the Neolithic age. So as we know that man learned to grow crops during the Mesolithic age. So as he learned to grow crops during Neolithic age, he started growing more and more crops. As he started growing more and more crops, now he need not to go from place to place in search of food, and gradually he changed from a food gatherer to a food producer. That means during the Mesolithic and the Paleolithic age, he was moving from place to place in search of food and to gather the food grains. But now during the Neolithic age, as he learned to grow crops and he was producing more and more crops, he need not to go anywhere and he became the food producer. Now man, he learned that merely sowing seeds were not enough. These crops should be taken care of. Now he learned to take care of the crops as well as he learned to rear the animals. Now man, he started burning the forest and started using those land areas also for cultivation. So he brought so many land areas under cultivation and started growing crops there. Now gradually man learned one more important thing that if he sow a good quality of seeds, then the crops would also be of very good quality. It would be of improved quality. So now he started sowing the good quality of seeds so that he would be able to get the better quality of crops. Not only that, he also started preserving these seeds for his next crops. So now these plants were far better than the plants that he was gathering from the forest, those wild plants. So now the quality was improved a lot, and these domestic plants were far better than of those wild plants. So now man, he realized that the gentle natured man, the mild natured animals could be domesticated and could be kept there along with them. So now he started domesticating these animals, and he knew that he could use these animals whenever the crops would not be available, whenever there would be scarcity of food. At that time he would use these animals as food, and he also started using these animals for the agricultural work as well as the means of transportation. That means previously instead of carrying the grains on his own shoulder, now what he did, he just put all these loads on the back of these animals and brought these animals to his houses. So in this way he started using these animals as the means of transport. Now man, he allowed the gentlest of these animals. That means he did not allow the horns as well as the tooth of these animals to grow very large and big. So as he did not allow to grow the horns and the tooth of these animals to become big and larger, now the shape of these animals, it gradually became different from the shape of the wild animals. So we can take the example of the wild goat. So now also we can see that the wild goat having the larger horns than the goat that the domesticated goats. So in this way, now just because of this, there was changes in the shape of the wild animals. Next point is here implications. So man, as he started growing more and more crops, as he wanted to assure the continuous supply of food. That means he did not want any kind of scarcity of food. He wanted that there should be regular supply of food, and that's why he started growing more and more crops. Not only that, he was rearing the animals too, and he was using these animals to get meat, milk and skin of these animals for his own uses. So in this way he was rearing the animals as well as he was just growing more and more crops. So in this way he was getting more time. He was getting sufficient time to develop the new skills. He need not to go anywhere in search of food. So he was having sufficient time to develop the new skills. So here next topics, develop new skills. Not only that, but he also understood that if he want to grow crops, so he had to live at one place for longer time. As he had to live one place for longer time, that means it was the beginning of the permanent settlement, the permanent human settlement. And now the civilized society began to take shape. So in this way, now the human settlement was started from the Neolithic age. Now our next topic here is polished tools. So during the Neolithic age, now man started using the harder stone to make tools. So during the Paleolithic and the Mesolithic age, he was just using the softer stone for making the tools, so that it would be easy to give shape to these soft stones. But now during the Neolithic age, man learned to give shape to these harder stones, and now he started making tools with the help of these harder stones by giving shape to these harder stones. And after giving shape and after making the tools, he was just polishing the blade of the tools to make it sharper. And now he started making new types of tools according to his requirements, such as he started making axes to cut the trees and could use, so that he would be able to use those land for cultivation. He also made the tools for digging the ground, so that he would be able to sow the seeds there. He also made sickles and used those sickles to cut the crops, you can say the harvest the crops. And he also made needles. He used those needles for sewing his clothes. So in this way, now he started making a new type of tools and started using these tools for many other purposes. Next is our pot making. So as during the Neolithic age, man was growing the crops and he was growing more and more crops. Now the crops, it becomes surplus than his requirement. Surplus means the left, or the thing that left after consuming, it is called surplus. So now when these surplus food grains were left, so it was needed to store these food grains. For this purpose, now what he did, he started making the baskets by using the wild grass. He just woven the basket, and after that he applied clay, wet clay around the basket, and dried up these baskets into the sun. And after that he used these baskets to store the dry grains. But then also he was not able to store water and milk, because these baskets were not good for storing water and milk, the liquid items like water and milk. So gradually he learned to bake vessels, clay vessels on fire, and now he started using these baked vessels for storing water as well as for storing milk. Not only that, he started using these baked vessels for cooking his food. So this is enough for today. Today I explained you about the Neolithic age, farming and herding, implications, polished tools and pot making. So these 4 points I have explained today. So in next video I will explain you more about the Neolithic age. So thank you and have a good day.